Among all military leaders and strategists in history, there was none that matched the heights of Alexander the Great. He was brutal, autocratic, and even so arrogant as to think of himself as divine. So great was his legacy that even the great Julius Caesar once saw his statue and looked up in awe. There is nothing impossible to him that would try. Gaining power. King Philip II and Queen Olympias gave birth to Alexander in 356 BCE in Pella, Macedonia. His interest in philosophy and science was awakened when he first started studying under Aristotle in his early teens. His area of strength was, however, military issues. Alexander, who was 18 at the time, led a cavalry assault in a battle Philip was fighting against the Greek states that were aligned with him. Philip was murdered around 336 BC. The troops praised Alexander and he ascended to the throne without opposition. He inherited his father's desire to conquer the Persian Empire, as well as develop a well-trained, mobile military force. Greece under Alexander and its states. Alexander took immediate action as king to establish his rule over the Greek states and to make preparations for an invasion of Persia. The troops of Thessaly, the Triballian Thrace, an Illyrian alliance that had invaded Macedonia, and the city-state of Thebes, which he destroyed, were all vanquished by Alexander in fast succession. Because they were intimidated, the Greeks acknowledged his rule and left Macedonian garrisons in several Greek states. Taking control of the Persian Empire. Alexander was aware that he would require Persian wealth to support the Philippine army. The moment was right for Alexander to invade Persia. The Persian army was larger than his own, but it was poorly organized and managed. Parts of the Persian King Darius III's empire were already slipping from his grasp. Alexander oversaw a sizable army of foot soldiers, archers, javelin throwers, and cavalry who were all experienced in combat. Additionally, he possessed a core group of capable, dependable generals, including Ptolemy, Cassander, Antigonus, and Seleucus. His own capacity to react quickly to shifting combat circumstances was one of his greatest strengths. With these advantages, the Macedonian king never suffered a significant defeat throughout his 11-year military campaign. Darius was forced to flee after Alexander decimated his army at the Granicus River and at Issus in the years 334 and 333. Alexander established the famous city of Alexandria in Egypt after conquering Syria, Phoenicia, Tyre, and other countries in 332. Later, at the Battle of Gaugamela, he finally vanquished Darius. Alexander crowned himself king of Asia in 330 following the death of Darius. The Persian Empire's enormous wealth was under his hands for the next 2 years as he consolidated his power. Alexander's campaign demonstrated his versatility in addition to his military prowess. As an administrator, he established democracies in numerous states, including native chieftains in his government, and constructed further towns. He surrounded himself with scientists, engineers, historians, and architects. He made Hellenistic culture and monetary structures widespread throughout Western and Central Asia. Additionally, Alexander came to believe in his own divine lineage, which upset his army. This idea was rejected by the Macedonians. Alexander, however, persisted in his claim to be God, even having a godlike likeness of himself minted on coins. Indian invasion. Alexander fought his final significant fight on the Hydaspes river banks on June 1st, 326. King Porus, who subsequently turned out to be a powerful ally, had a far larger army that he routed. However, after years of campaigning, Alexander's army mutinied and insisted on going home while they were at the Hyphasis River. He reached Susa, Persia, in 324, where many of his warriors were subsequently sent home with wealth and distinction. Alexander had traveled to Babylon in 323 to organize an exploration of Arabia when he unexpectedly fell ill. He died on June 13th. His empire broke up into various kingdoms. Legacy of Alexander. For more than 2,000 years, Alexander's life has captivated both historians and the general people. His reign signaled a turning point in the histories of Europe and Asia. From birth, he had surrounded himself with the smartest, most brilliant minds on the planet, and thus was educated unlike anyone else. He had a thirst for knowledge that could not be quenched. For my own part, I would rather excel in knowledge of the highest secrets of philosophy than in arms. It was this intelligence and inner circle of spectacular individuals that made his journey possible, but it was his absurdly high self-confidence, ability to lead, and understand the ways of war that made him the greatest conqueror in history. To use his success as a framework in today's world, we'd learn that we must pick our relationships wisely. Be decisive, master your topic relentlessly. Never allow yourself to be the smartest person in the room, but don't let that take away from your confidence to make decisions. In the same way, do not let your confidence delude you as Alexander did. Maybe one day you too can leave a legacy like Alexander, a legacy that saw Byzantine dominance for centuries, the growth of the Roman Empire, and the spread of Christianity, all directly influenced by Alexander's accomplishments.